Hi folks, I want to do an expose video of Kesha's latest music video called Die Young. Now, when I first saw this video, I was absolutely shocked at the blatant satanic and antichrist themes that run throughout the whole video and song. There's so much wrong with this video and song that it's really hard to know really where to begin, because I keep seeing more and more in it that's wrong. Okay, so the beginning of the video, we see a hearse driving along a dusty road towards a church, and the hearse pulls up and we briefly see the words flashing up, evil, on the side of the vehicle. It's very subtle, it's very quick, but it's there. And this is the first of many very brief yet definite subliminal type messages and imagery that appear throughout this video. So then Kesha comes out of the back of the car and is carried up on the shoulders of these people like she's some sort of pagan death goddess type figure, and they head into the church and they immediately start to vandalise it and desecrate it. The church is then further desecrated by what can only be described as a bisexual orgy. Now, to accompany the sexual imagery, the lyrics that also go with this theme are just as bad. Now listen to this and ask yourself whether you would be happy with your young daughter or son singing this around the house. Quote, young hunks taking shots, stripping down to dirty socks, music up, getting hot, kiss me, give me all you've got. It's pretty obvious that you've got a crush, you know. That magic in your pants, it's making me blush, for sure. End quote. Do parents have any idea what their children are watching and listening to on music channels these days? Would you really be happy with your young son or daughter listening to and watching this kind of stuff? Ask yourself that question. Now back to the flashing and subliminal type imagery. Throughout the video we see upside down crosses flashing all over the screen. Often they're coming down like rain, and we see it being flashed up as well, the upside down cross, further mocking and blaspheming God. And while the video pours contempt upon God, it exalts the occult. We see a large glowing occult symbol, the pentagram, in the background on the wall of the church, while all the dancers all prance about in front of it. And back to the subliminal imagery again. I mean, the pentagram is very in your face, obviously it's glowing there in the background, but the subliminal imagery just runs throughout. We see the all-seeing eye. It features very prominently throughout the music video, and it flashes up quite quickly, but it's enough so to be processed by the average brain. And there's also a scene of a deck of cards being used. Now they look like a deck of cards at first, but as I watched this and freeze framed it, I had my suspicions. I thought, I bet you these are a pack of tarot cards. Now Kesha holds one of these up and it's very brief, but when you freeze frame it at the right moments you can see that it is a card from a tarot pack. And the one that she holds up, surprise surprise, just happens to be the one for the devil. Now all the while there is this theme of death running throughout the video. The song itself is called Die Young, with these words constantly and repetitiously being sung throughout in a catchy pop tuney way. Now it's a good tune, you know, it's a very catchy tune, so much so that I found it running around in my head, because I've studied this video and I've listened to the song quite a bit. It gets in your head. Die young, die young, die young, die young. People are being brainwashed with this. Again, are you happy with your son or daughter listening to this? And the video opens up with Kesha being driven to church in a hearse and coming out of it with a black veil covering her head. Near the end of the video, Kesha makes a sign of slitting her own throat, drawing her hand across it, and it leaves a red line across the screen going right across her neck. What's all that about? All-seeing eyes, occult imagery and anti-Christian themes have been appearing in mostly very subtle ways in music for some years now and indoctrinating people. But because people are becoming so accustomed to it and desensitized, it seems like videos like Die Young have taken it to a whole new level of in-your-face boldness these days. And I think it's only going to get worse and more bold. And it isn't just with this video of Kesha's. The satanic and anti-Christian imagery can be seen in her live performances of this song as well. And I would just like to draw your attention to a video in the video description, link down the bottom there. It's by a guy called Servitude for All. It's his video, and he has some footage of Kesha performing Die Young live in front of a small, intimate kind of audience. And again, the singers are all covered in occult symbols, the pentagram, the all-seeing eye, and there's upside down crosses as well. And when you look at the way the crowd are cheering, it's almost like worship. You know, it's almost like they're under a spell and they can't see that they're in agreement with all of this occult imagery and anti-Christian theme that is right in front of their faces. They're blinded. And there's young children in this audience as well singing Die Young, Die Young, Die Young. And there's parents there with them as well. And they're all totally and utterly blinded to what is in front of their very eyes. This is the result, friends, of years and years of indoctrination through the TV, music videos, and the lyrics that people are constantly singing. A lot of people just can't see it. They are blinded. Now, the satanic imagery and anti-Christian themes are conditioning the masses for the coming of the Antichrist, whom we are told in the book of Revelation the whole world will be spellbound by, follow after, and even worship. This is what people are being set up for now, friends. Let me just read some verses from the book of Revelation, chapter 13, which I think are very relevant indeed with regards to what we're seeing happening today. What we're seeing today is just the foundational groundwork in preparation for the coming of the Antichrist. So here we go, Revelation chapter 13, quote, "One of the heads of the beast seemed to have had a fatal wound, but the fatal wound had been healed. The whole world was filled with wonder and followed the beast. People worshipped the dragon because he had given authority to the beast, and they also worshipped the beast and asked, 'Who is like the beast? Who can wage war against it?' The beast was given a mouth to utter proud words and blasphemies, and to exercise its authority for 42 months. It opened its mouth to blaspheme God and to slander his name and his dwelling place and those who live in heaven. It was given power to wage war against God's holy people and to conquer them. And it was given authority over every tribe, people, language and nation. All inhabitants of the earth will worship the beast. Then I saw a second beast coming out of the earth. It had 2 horns like a lamb, but it spoke like a dragon. It exercised all the authority of the first beast on its behalf, and made the earth and its inhabitants worship the first beast, whose fatal wound had been healed. And it performed great signs, even causing fire to come down from heaven to earth in full view of the people. Because of the signs it was given power to perform on behalf of the first beast, it deceived the inhabitants of the earth. It ordered them to set up an image in honour of the beast who was wounded by the sword and yet lived. The second beast was given power to give breath to the image of the first beast, so that the image could speak and cause all who refused to worship the image to be killed." End quote.